Well, here I am going live. We'll have people shortly join us. If you're here early, welcome. Feel free to join our Zoom meeting. Hey, Mike, how you doing? And I forgot to tell you, Mike, we try to wear hats in our meeting. Oh, you got a hat, good.
I need one badly. My hair is going crazy.
So I try to wear fun hats, and I got this fun hat that I have from Burning Man that I was like, I'll wear this. But then I realized, like, because it's a rainbow,
Yeah.
it just the color issues.
I actually saw you were wearing hats. I was gonna wear like my I was actually thinking of wearing a Stetson. My daughters have all these like super colorful wigs from Halloween, so I was contemplating doing that.
Yeah.
Should have.
Yeah, I've got all the ones from Burning Man. I've worn bear ones, but often like they get hot during it because I also wear headphones, and it's like I'm boiling alive in a Zoom meeting. So we are live, and I'm going to start recording. I just have to make sure we got space on our cloud for it.
Yep.
Because I used the minimum cloud. Welcome, Al. You made it in today.
Thank you. Got past my technical difficulties.
That's, I always do I've been doing like tech checks on a lot of stuff, even for like when we had our clean tech meetup. And for these meetings, I always make sure I meet with every single person over a Zoom meeting and have them present something as like a tech check before, and then also the day of. And I do it regardless of people's knowledge of tech, because I've been in situations where it's like, okay, I know all this, I got all this. And then you get there and no, I don't.
Not working.
Yeah.
It can be very frustrating.
It's a humbling experience.
Yes. Very true. Looking forward to this.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting.
Yeah. Let me get my notes together here.
It's getting all. So there, Mike, another company in Sacramento is now, you said you were starting to do some manufacturing in the Philippines?
Well, we have installations in the Philippines. We're manufacturing in, well, right now we're just our temporary manufacturing in Singapore. Yep.
Okay, well, all right.
I used to do water rams back in the late 70s in Missouri.
All right.
Pumps.
Yeah.
They're very effective. They could pump a huge height.
Yeah.
It's
my dad had said back in the day in Australia they had this there's something you just set in the river, and it was spring loaded, and the water pressure would just push down on it, and then it would hit something and pop the spring, and it would just automatically pump into their water tank, and just ran off of springs, and that was it.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oops.
Well, it's like a lot of things we do, it's just stuff that's kind of disappeared from history that was really practical that we could use now, that we just have, moved on from.
We just have to reach back.
We do. Yeah.
It's one of the things with that is kind of constantly said, like some of the most innovative solutions are actually incredibly simple and not extremely, not old technology. And if you go and look at a lot of like these crowdfunding items, most of them are not crowdfunding stuff that is brand new. I mean, it's stuff that they literally went and, hold on, I'm updating our live stream. I think maybe I should disable the waiting room, because I know this guy. Oh yeah, there's lots of people in the waiting room. Multitasking in the middle.
Good morning.
Good morning. Hey, how's everyone doing? We got the live stream going. I'm going to go and start recording this. Welcome.
Michael, you look like you're standing out in the field. You're outstanding in your field.
Thank you. Yes. It's actually our installation up in Utica. So
Oh,
That is so cool.
Yeah,
that is great.
and you can see it kind of spinning there. It's a neat one. They built a whole house around it and a whole room in the back for all the electronics. So it's sort of a real high end, but great demonstration project for us.
Yeah, great.
I'm just trying to get the live stream
Morning,
shared.
Gary.
Morning. Got to put your hat on, Al.
I know. You know what? I had a hat that I was supposed to bring up. I'm going to go get it.
Hey, how'd the SAC EV meeting go last night, Peter?
It went pretty good. Here, since you guys are insisting on hats, how about Potter Valley?
There you go. I got the Association of Women in Water, Energy, and the Environment.
This is
This is the original hat that I was going to wear, but if you look, it's like all the color changing, just a little crazy for the background on it. So we're gonna get started. Let's see, Eva is coming in. So initially, I want to get started by telling everyone to go and glance at your chat. I'm going to share the slides for this meeting. Okay. Too many things trying to share the time on my screen. 1 second here. All right, so in the chat, you can go and find the slides that we're going to be going off of, so you can follow along on your own. They also have links to a lot of resources in them, so I recommend you get in there and you click on the links. Additionally, on your Zoom controls, there's the ability to look at that we are live. Feel free to throw this live link wherever you want to bring more attention to kind of what's going on. And I would like to introduce us. I'm Thomas Hall, Executive Director of Cleanstart. And this is Cleanstart's to-dos. These are short little web meetings where we talk about what entrepreneurs, policymakers, and researchers are doing and what steps they're taking to kind of move forward. And for this one, we'd like to welcome our guest, Michael Carroll, founder and CEO of HeliosAltas.
Hello, everybody.
Some quick agreements for an effective meeting space. Please pay attention to your mic, that it's on mute, so that way you don't inadvertently put background noise. Zoom controls, just a quick review. Raise your hand to put questions in the chat if you want to ask them but aren't ready to interrupt. Now here's our clean tech sponsors that enable us to put this on. Blue Tech Valley, Sac State, SMUD, and Weintraub Tobin. I recommend that you guys follow Weintraub Tobin on LinkedIn because they're putting out a lot of good resources for the legal implications of going back to work right now. And I think that's something everyone wants to make sure that they do go back to work. They do it in a responsible manner. And at the end of the day, don't incur any litigation. Some quick announcement. We have another to-do tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Eco Alpha. If you want to learn more about them, go to Cleanstart, and we have a blog up about them, about how they're connecting people with clean tech careers across the state and some of the projects that they're working on. Additionally, there's our meetup at the end of the month on electrification. We'll have more information about that coming up soon. And the CEO Crash Course. The CEO Crash Course is 8 classes for C-level, or for people that are trying to reach that C-level amount of knowledge in their startup. It's everything from how do you pitch to how do you fundraise to connecting with partners, manufacturing, prototyping. It's a really in-depth course. So I suggest if you can, apply for it by May 20th and join us for it. Additionally, I quickly put this in there. The Carlson Center Entrepreneurship Toolkit starts on May 20th. This is a great way to go and learn about how to set up your business model. I highly recommend it. Get into these slides and click here and you can follow to their Entrepreneurship Toolkit page. Additionally, Startup SAC, one of our closest allies and partners in this, run by Laura Good and Jeff Bennett, has Startup SAC Happy Hour on the 26th with Trifecta. They are a company in Sacramento that got invested by Moneta Ventures and is growing. And they're going to be talking about marketing and how they've digitally marketed themselves to grow significantly over the past couple of years. So I really recommend that you check that out. Additionally, if you're wondering how do you stay connected on all this, connect with us for our mailing list, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. We've got an intern now, so we're figuring out Instagram, and check out our blogs that we constantly put up on our website. So please go there and make sure that you follow and like us on those things, because that engagement enables us to reach more and new people. Also, last time we talked about Empower Innovation. Empower is a network online for CEC projects and grants. So if you're looking at doing any clean technology work, get on there, find Cleanstart, connect with us and the other people in the network, which also includes Blue Tech Valley and Sac State. And additionally, if you come here and click on this Startup SAC, you can get the Startup SAC newsletter, which is one of the best resources in the region for finding out about startup events. Oh, see, and you click it and it takes it right to you. Read right to it. All right, so without further ado, I would like to welcome Michael Carroll, CEO and founder of HeliosAltas. Mike, if you ever want me to switch the slides to the next ones, just let me know and take it away.
Okay, will do. Thank you very much. Really appreciate this, Thomas. It's great to be able to come out and share what we're doing. Just a little bit about myself. I actually come from the oil and gas industry, and that's how I got into this project, is traveling the world. I worked on both upstream and downstream. On the upstream, working on enhanced oil recovery, and the downstream developed fuel additives that reduce emissions. And so through those things, I was able to see how the rest of the world lives, the energy problems that are out there. And I always really had my eye out for something, or was trying to think of ideas on how something could be made to provide power to a lot of these people in remote locations, but still renewable power that would be something that could actually provide power at a lower price point than hydrocarbon-based sources. And so with that, I actually found this technology through the inventor Phil Chauvin, who's in Lincoln, and got so excited about it. I moved my family up from LA to the Roseville area about 4.5 years ago to get this all started and moving. One of the first steps I was fortunate enough to do is to meet Maury Hauschman, and who Gary actually knows. They worked together at Capstone, and Maury's sort of similar situation, has traveled the world with Capstone, installing generators and doing sales in all parts of the world. So he'd actually already had experience with the company he'd done, creating microgrids, bringing in multiple different types of energy sources, and they were actually powering up remote islands in the Philippines, and probably about 50 islands where there are hotels and things like that, resorts. So we brought that background and experience into what we're doing now. And I'm going to switch the slide, which is making water wheels. And right before we started the meeting, we were kind of chatting a little bit about, the history of these old technologies and things. And, before the grid came in and electricity and power, there was something in the order of 6 gigawatts of water wheels installed around Europe and the US. And that was pretty much all ripped out and just thrown away when we started bringing in the grid. So it is a technology and an idea that's been around for a long time, but what we've really done is modernize it and suspended the water wheel as well and put all the electronics and power controls inside, because everything's obviously much smaller now. And what that enables us is we can actually produce power in extremely thin flows of water, which is really unique to how we can operate. All of our competition typically requires 48 inches of water or more to produce power because they need to be submerged. And obviously the more traditional hydro needs big civil infrastructure, really long-term lead time work. So by this formation and how we put things together, we've really created the first truly modular and distributable hydro system. And so with the suspension, you can see there, the unit can rise and fall with change in water levels. We've got a counterweight on the back that keeps the unit in place. And we can pass debris. It allows full aquatic passage. We can actually set gaps into the unit because the unit spins at the speed of the water. So we're not going to chop anything up as long as it can pass through. We've got units installed in the US, Philippines, we're putting them in Malaysia, Indonesia. So we've actually done lots of trials on these now. We have well over 80,000 hours of operation on our units. We've partnered with a company called Hunting Energy. Hunting Energy is the largest tier 2 oil and gas service company in the world. And so they have an engineering team, about 4 people working on this to help us get together for manufacturing. So they're working with us on starting manufacturing and getting that going. We are planning on starting to manufacture our first series of units later on this summer. It was supposed to start in June, but with everything that's going on, it may slide till August or September. Just because we literally can't get in and work right now at the facilities to get things actually physically going. But we've been able to do a lot of engineering. We're actually getting a lot of support from our vendors. Siemens is one of the vendors that's really taken a huge interest in what we're doing. So they've been working with us on our power takeoff systems and the remote monitoring. Part of the system, again, is going to be bringing remote technologies or new technologies to this older system. We're going to be able to have remote connectivity to monitor the units, see what's going on, communicate with our customers to let them know if there's any issues or problems. We have various different sensors set up on the unit. One of the things we've also done is we have gone from kind of the design queue developments has gone from a gearbox to a synchronous generator. We've developed our own generator. So what that's also done is in terms of maintenance, we've gone from quite a few moving parts to literally only 3 or 4 spinning bearings, and that's it. And so that really is the only maintenance issue that we would have with the unit now. So we've pretty much gotten rid of the vast majority of what typically will be maintenance problems or maintenance considerations that a lot of our competitors have as well. With the application that we're doing, our price point is actually quite low compared to a lot of our competitors because it's, again, we're not submerged in a deep flow in the middle of a river or stream or something you can walk up to and work on, which makes things a lot easier for maintenance and repair. The footprint on what we're doing, when you look at the energy density of water and the size of footprint required for how we can produce power, when you're looking at the overall grand scheme of things, a 5 kilowatt wheel for us takes up about 6 square meters of space. Similarly sized solar to produce the same amount of power in a day takes up 92 square meters of space, and wind is up over 400. So we're less than 1/10 of the space required to produce the same amount of power And because it's hydro, it's 24-hour power, so it's extremely reliable. You want to go to the next slide, Thomas? And so one of the applications you can see on the left there is that's in the Philippines. The upper right picture there is actually a picture, or is actually a village. Actually, is a picture. It's a village that we powered up as a demonstration project with 2 units in series on a canal that's running right behind that village. Because one of the things we discovered from this is when we have our units in, we did do a little bit of solar to boost the power up during the day. We literally had 3 panels. We use those essentially to make the roof to cover our electronics to give them a little more protection, and inside our NEMA 4 boxes. And but what occurred is when we have the water wheels going, we're constantly charging the batteries. And so the issue, particularly in tropical regions that they have trying to put in solar remote grid systems, is that the batteries are typically only lasting 6 months, maybe 18 months. And a lot of that's related to people start using the power, they start draining the batteries down every day, and they don't last. Also, the solar panels are a lot less efficient there because of the cloud cover, tree cover, all the rain. So all these factors just make it not as ideal, but all those same factors make ours extremely ideal. So with this system, we were able to power up 12 households with just a 1 kilowatt of water wheels and was it 600 watts of solar panels. So and we actually had enough power left over because they were using it up, that we actually put in a water pump and we pumped water up to the village. My next step is I want to raise that up a little bit. We can put a low pressure filter on it, a UV light, so plenty of power for that, and we can actually clean their water for them. And so there's they've got a fridge now, they've got all those basic necessities. The average price that I'm being told by the Asian Development Bank and also the Rural Development Minister for Malaysia is when they're putting these kinds of systems in, and again, theirs are much larger systems in terms of the kilowatt rating because you need so much more solar. You know, really looking at more like 18% efficiency. So you're gonna need 5 times the amount of solar panels is what you would normally need for the same rated system as what we're doing. Plus, you know, 10 times more batteries. And so their price per kilowatt hour is right around 50 cents. Well, just on a one-off putting this system in, we were around 35 cents. We believe we can get it down to close to 20 cents at scale, which would actually put us in parity with the grid in cities in these developed countries. So we see it as a huge opportunity there. We have a project going with the in Borneo with the Rural Development Ministry there. They're actually supposed to spend 3 nights at a facility that was supposed to be up and running right now this week, but in Borneo. And following on that, we were expecting a large order, but again, that's all been pushed back with COVID for until probably more like July, August. But we're still, you know, able to get things together to hold on to move forward for that. What else? There's also, again, we're just looking at a lot of the other opportunities now, and what we can do with this extra time, you know, in terms of, I guess, our operations, getting ready for manufacturing. You know, it's in a way, we're kind of, you know, we're definitely taking advantage of the extra time to get our paperwork together, get our engineering together, getting our procedures and policies together for these installations. We are manufacturing 150 units. Half of those units already have homes. So we've got a lot of interest in the other units we have coming out. Just as an example, we did just a small $60 Facebook. We promoted a video you can see on our website, which talks about the village in the Philippines. Just over the weekend, we had over 30 full views of that video. Massive follow-up, still trying to keep up with. So got a lot of projects, villages, in the pipeline on top of all that. So, things are for the site installation.
It's going to be a larger unit.
Oh, there's of that percent, I'm convinced that we are, really the key to get that moving. And we're getting a lot of trying to figure out what to do. Then focus on where we're going to. They're able to manage that water facility.
Because then you don't have to deal with the transmission and all that other stuff, and plus you
exactly.
get the water flow. You can go whatever the water flow is. You can run it. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, exactly. And we are looking. Our lead design engineer, his background actually is in more traditional hydro, and so we are looking at gearing it up for some of those applications too. So,
okay. Michael, this is Will Brieger. Do you have any rough numbers that correlate the stream flows to the power production?
Yeah. So with this unit, our 500 watt wheel, we are looking at it's 2.4 meters per second. So we're looking at roughly, 8 to 9 foot per second water flow to produce the rated power of 500 watts. And obviously a little less than that'll come down. There's different tricks you can do, so if you have a wider flow, you can actually block the water up and conform it into the unit. And that equates to, should have it right down in front of me, but right around 6 CFS to get the flow, get that power.
This is Peter. So 6 or 60?
6.
Oh, okay, cool. Thank you.
6 cubic feet per second.
Yeah. Thanks.
Tell us a little bit about your funding journey, because you've been at this 4.5 years. Now, what if you had it to do over again? What would you do different?
That was exactly going to be my question, Gary.
Great.
Yeah. We've boy, I would probably bring on somebody on the funding side onto the company, in terms of part of the equity that has a really good track record on doing that and managing that part of things. It's just particularly the follow-up, keeping up with that, plus the development and everything else that's going on. I do also still have a part-time job at my family business, which is actually how I keep my family going. So I don't pay myself through this, so I can pay for the team. That's also spread me out a little thin. But having hunting and that partnership, they've actually been, frankly, a blessing that's been able to keep us going. So that's been a unique way that I think a lot of other companies haven't done it. I did spend a lot of time going into San Francisco, identifying those funders better. San Francisco, when you look at a piece of metal, piece of equipment, they just sort of glaze over in San Francisco, and those funders in that area, I thought that would have been great, easy access there, but it's more been lots of other places that we've gotten from.
Excellent.
So a lot of the interest you have gotten has been international. Did you go and find them, or did they find you? And how did that kind of build out?
Yeah, so a lot of that came from our market review of our competitors and what they'd done in the U.S. So there was a company called Hydrovolts out of Washington that came in, and they actually kind of spoiled the San Francisco market for us. They raised a ton of money there, and they folded up. But the issue was in the U.S., the permitting is just so difficult here. You're looking at particularly $10,000 in permitting costs when you're looking to put in a system that's you're trying to get at a price point of roughly $5,000 to $7,000, and your permitting cost is almost double that in the U.S. So it just didn't seem sustainable to do that. There are a few little holes and regulations in places with being in conduit, but as soon as you start taking that power away, then you fall back into permitting and FERC. So we quickly identified that the market here to be able to expand, in that way was just going to be a lot more difficult. And I guess too, the unique background that I have and Maury have, you know, we've spent so much time in these other countries doing energy. So we had lots of contacts in that way. So, yeah.
Okay. Do we have any other additional questions? All right. So with that, I want to thank you guys and ask you to join us next time for Melanie Okoro and Uzoma Okoro from Eco Alpha. You know, go to Cleanstart and check out the blog that we did on them, and go and check out their website. They've done a lot of really cool engineering projects, and now they're working on educating people in the greater Sacramento and actually up and down the state to and get clean tech jobs. These are the careers of the future, and we want to make sure we have a well-trained workforce on it. I'm going to go live again real quick.
So is that tomorrow?
That is tomorrow, 9 a.m. Same time, same place. And they're really exciting to talk with too. So they're a woman-owned local small business that is doing a lot of good work. So thank you for attending. I want to remind you there's the to-do tomorrow, Clean Tech meetup on electrification on the 28th, the CEO crash course. Get your applications in. If you know a company that would be a good fit, share it with them. I know Dick Flask, who's on the line, applied for it, and we hope to see more people. Additionally, connect with Startup SAC with the Startup Happy Hour and their hours. And is the bottom cut off here? Is the bottom cut off for you guys?
No, I can see it.
Okay. Well, Chico Start, go and check them out if you're in Northern California. Eva, you want to tell us a little bit about what Chico Start's been up to with their webinar series?
Actually, we're leveraging a lot of what our partners are doing, like yourselves. So I was about to give you guys a shout out and say, hey, you guys are doing a great job. Secondly, I'm going to interrupt your request for a second and ask Michael Carroll, I'd like to be able to connect with you offline. So I'll do that outside of this. And then lastly, we have a lot of things going in transition, actually mostly for the better. And love to give you guys an update later on that, but I have to run to my next one. Chico Start's a startup incubator and industry to industry economic development driver. We're also a regional advisor for the SBDC Finance Center now. So if anybody needs any help with that. And lastly, I have recently been appointed the director for the Center of Entrepreneurship for CSU Chico. So
Congratulations.
I'm a little busy. So
Awesome.
So the Center for Entrepreneurship at Sac State they have their toolkit series coming up, because that's I think a nice bridge. Go and check it out.
I'm totally going to do that. Thank you. Thank you, Thomas. I'm not going to try to reinvent the wheel. I'm going to try to centralize all the resources I can that already exist from partners like you guys.
Yeah, the Carlson Center series, this was the second time they've done it. So we participated in the first one. It's really good, and
Awesome.
They're very generous sharing it. So, point all of your clients in their direction. But as you say, no need to duplicate what they've already done so well.
Yeah, and actually, I was going to ask you guys if I guess I'll just do it anyway. I'm going to push out the CEO crash course info on our Slack channels and on our MailChimp later today or tomorrow.
Yeah, do it.
Appreciate
if you have
that.
questions, send them to us. Yeah. Excellent.
All right, well,
thank you.
I have to run, gentlemen and ladies, if there's other ladies on there, but it was a pleasure. And Michael, great job. And I look forward to talking with you offline.
Me too, Eva. Yeah, look forward to it.
Thanks.
Great.
And with that, I will stay connected socially with us. Go to our YouTube, subscribe, like, follow. That really helps us get the word out there, especially because we're putting out routine videos and blogs. So you can stay updated and learn a little bit more about what's happening in the region. And of course, Empower and Startup SAC are part of that. So go and check those out. Additional thanks to our program sponsors, Ernst Young, Stoll Reeves, Moss Adams, and Hacker Lab. I really suggest you go and follow Moss Adams on LinkedIn. They've been putting out a lot of good content related to actually fundraising and doing due diligence during COVID-19. So it's a great resource there. And with that, I'm going to stop the share because that's about all that we had. And people are free to stay around and chat for a bit. And hopefully see some of you guys tomorrow.
Yeah, I think Dick Flask won the hat contest for today. So everybody else keep trying. Will, you got to get your hat.
I have a hat, but the colors just.
Yeah, they have problems with your background there.
Yeah.
But, yeah, too
You gotta
late
get a
to
hat.
enter, Thomas. Sorry.
You need a hat or a haircut.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. All right. Thank you, everybody.
There you go. Thank you, Asado.
Thank you very much,
Well,
everybody.
Ava.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks. This was
Appreciate
helpful.
your
Good
time.
luck,
All right.
good luck, Michael.
Thank you very much.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and just end it. Thanks, Mike. Thanks.
Great.
Alan.
Appreciate it, Thomas.
And
I can hang up here and figure it
I'm
out.
gonna go, let's see.